Morning. Afternoon. Mid-afternoon from the Prickwillow Pumping Museum and Prickwillow 48-hour mooring.
We've been here for probably
48
bang on
hours.
48 hours. It's time to go.
It's time to go.
The reason we're leaving in the afternoon is because the museum didn't open until 12 o'clock today. It opens 2 days a week, Sunday and Monday at the moment.
Yeah.
So we waited so that Michael could go and look at the engines.
Yeah, and it's not one of their event days, it was a little unclear exactly when event days are, but that's because there are no event days right now because of COVID.
I'm really tired because I stayed up last night finishing our wash vlog.
Yeah.
Link below if you haven't seen it. Actually, I'll probably forget to put the link, so don't worry about that. So I said to Michael, I'm going to have a nap, so can you be like no quicker than an hour?
Yeah, so I go over there, pay my $3.50 to start walking around. There are some interesting diesel engines, but non-running. They're not exactly something you can look sort of, you're not like close in on them or anything, so you can see them from these sort of viewing points, and that's about it. And then there's a bunch of farm implements. So I spent a whole bunch of time reading about farm implements.
Because he didn't think he could come home.
Yeah, I now know about the impassable mole trap with like vertical spikes on a spring. It's just medieval torture devicey looking thing. And then I was like, I got to that. I'd listened to the whole DVD at the beginning, which I wasn't allowed to watch the DVD because it's in a little section that is too small, so you could only go in with your bubble or individually. So she's like, I can sell you a ticket, but I can't let you in because they're in a bubble. Okay, fine. So I but there's this big open wall, so you can stand there and listen to the DVD. So as I was walking up to the engines and stuff, I'm just kind of, listening to the DVD. Then I finally get around the museum and I read this great big thing in which somebody's talking about their experience on the fens and stuff, and I'm like, hasn't been an hour yet. Hey, can I watch that DVD?
And he's still going back 10 minutes early, but I just messaged him to say I can't sleep. So.
Yeah. But I was like, I've done it. I can't do it. I mean, I was just like, I can't do it. I have to come back because I've exhausted everything you can do at the Prickwillow Pumping Museum. So
it's a lovely mooring here. There's like a natural grassy beach thing just over across the other side of the bridge, so lots of people have been like paddle boarding, and they've got like all the inflatable kayaks and even swimming, and there's kids up on the bridge now jumping
off the bridge. But there's so little traffic across the bridge, I don't really blame them because it's deep enough to do the dive in, and then you can just swim over to the side and walk out,
and it's not too much of a current here, so.
No, there's nothing of a current really.
Yeah. And George has loved swimming in the river.
So other than the fact that they seem to have scared off Sir Hiss, a white goose.
Him.
Oh, have you seen him?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, Sir Hiss is back. Okay. I called him Sir Hiss because he's just like, yes, I'm going to come right up to your window and be real friendly, and I want to eat everything that you toss out to me, but I will hiss at you like mad. Yeah. So I'm glad he's back because I was worried about him. But, he's traitorously sitting outside this boat now. So, clearly not interested in us. So anyways, we'll move on.
Michael's got to get a train from Ely tomorrow, we think. But we think we're going to stop at one of the Royal Moorings today and then go into Ely in the morning. Unless the Royal Moorings are full, which they shouldn't be.
No, but the Royal Moorings have better access to internet. And this is all because I'm attending a online conference / summer school for the next 2 weeks. Which means that although we're going to have all day to cruise, if we want to cruise, at the end of the day, I need to spend time, watching videos and talking to people on Zoom in other parts of the world. Which means we need decent internet. Yeah.
So fingers crossed that Ely's internet is better than it was last week, because it wasn't very good last week.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But now, to the cow moorings.
After you fed Sir Hiss.
No, I'm not. They're feeding Sir Hiss. I can hear them. They just looked out the door and said, hello. Sir Hiss will get his fill.
Okay.
Besides, he's eating us out of house and home.
Goodbye, Sir Hiss. We'll miss you harassing us. It's just 2 short miles from the Prickwillow moorings to the junction with the River Ouse, and then just a further 2 miles to Ely, but I'm pretty sure we'll be stopping before then. It's a really hot day and we're starting to dream about being in the river instead of on the river. And because this is a river and not a canal, the water's really clean and clear. As we get closer to the junction, Michael moves to the bow to see if there are any boats coming. And of course, as river law dictates, there are 2. I slow down to let them cross the junction before I make the turn onto the Great Ouse. The first thing we do when we moor up is build an exit ladder for the river. It's time for a family swim.
Right, so before the morning's story begins, a note for all the people who would otherwise comment. In the following, I repeatedly say the word cow. I know they're bullocks, I know they're steers. I am aware of the fact that they're also cattle, and that they're not cows. They are definitely not cows, but at the same time, I'm a fan of Terry Pratchett, and he has these characters called the Knack-Mack-Feegle, and the Knack-Mack-Feegle always call cows coo beasties, and because they call them coo beasties, I have taken to calling all cattle cows. This is just the way I have decided to be. I am not super accurate about everything that I do, and when I am going to deviate from accuracy, it's going to be for funny reasons, so that's why I've done that one. So these are cows! They are also cattle, they are also cow beasties, they are also bullocks, steers. They are not bulls, unless they want to be, unless they feel it in their souls, because frankly, as far as I'm concerned, that's a matter of identification.
The next day we're up really early so we can get to Ely for Michael's train, but things don't exactly go to plan.
So, minor morning issue. George and I came out for a walk, and when we came out for a walk, there were a couple of cattle down over that way towards that bridge, and the rest of them were quite a long ways back there, and everybody was asleep. So, no problem. I came, George, walking up here, back to this nice little field, and did a little bit of ball throwing, and then I heard a moo, and okay, whatever. I turned around and there's one cow here and it was mooing. It wasn't mooing very loud, but it was just kind of going moo. And then the next time I turn around, gate's blocked. So George and I are going to take a walk all the way down that way to the next mooring. There's a road bridge down there. Joe's going to drive the boat over and catch up to us. And it's just simpler than dealing with these guys. Sure what to make of this, are you? Not sure what to make of this, are you? Just kind of confused, a little gormless, a little lacking in gorm.
So the engine's running and I'm about to pull off and go and rescue George and Michael. It's really weird. I know I've got to pick Michael up and he's not here, but I keep thinking I have to get George on the boat. Just not used to doing it without him. But yeah, breakfast abandoned. Off to the next mooring. I'm probably eating now.
To add to the fun, it's a little windy today, and the boat is getting pushed out as soon as I untie the ropes. And I know it sounds silly, but these bollards aren't exactly the most rope friendly. Thank goodness for centre lines. Goodbye, troublesome cows.
We're off! And it's windy. And there's rowers about. It's a good fun.
It's quite a long walk and a little bouncy, but George is doing a very good job of towing me and towing his poop, which is in my hand, well, in a bag, but still. Goes back there somewhere. I can't see it, but that's because I'm getting towed.
So far so good. I'm probably about halfway to the bridge. I don't know if you can even hear me because it's so windy. It's a beautiful morning and there's some rowers back there that I need to keep an eye out for. But yeah, I'm enjoying this early morning cruise.
Okay, we've made the walk. We've passed the bridge. We've gotten to these moorings, which actually for the most part are out of action due to some breaking of the walls, but that's fine. Joe will be able to pull up right here and get us on the way. So she's down there somewhere being chased by rowers, last I heard. I'm gonna rest now, along with George.
We've reached our destination, and so it's finally time for breakfast. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and we'd love to hear your comments down below.
I'm at Bury St. Edmunds Abbey, or the Abbey of St. Edmunds. It's quite a interesting ruins, lots of interesting buildings and everything, structures. And this is apparently the Narrowboat or monastic laboratory. So that's important.